Beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day.
Another beautiful day.
Another beautiful day, guys.
Maybe
Yeah.
my backyard is just a bit overpowered.
Yeah, your backyard's a pretty G. You know, like when I'm in your backyard, it just makes me really sleepy. You know, like it's just so relaxing. And you know, today we thought, you know, why don't we bring you guys some content and talk about sleep? So today we're going to talk about some sleep tips. So sleep, you know, it's actually a very important thing, and it's something which many students actually tend to take for granted and sacrifice. So today we really wanted to highlight the importance of just, you know, why sleep is so integral to your academics and life in general.
Yeah, I mean, both of us went to a school where people did not get sleep, guys, like 5 hours a day. And honestly, that reflects pretty poorly in your results. Over time, your efficiency starts to lose. So that's sort of the main goal. We want to keep sleep so we stay efficient throughout the year. Because VCE, you need to stay consistent. And the main thing that affects that is sleep. So that's one of the major reasons why we were sort of proponents for sleep. Sleep's really helpful in that way.
So let's talk about, you know, what is the ideal amount of sleep? Now, in general, it does actually vary person by person, but if we're taking, you know, the entire population and for people of a young age, such as us, the average amount of sleep that you need is around 8 to 9 hours. So if you're not hitting that amount consistently every day, what you're doing is you're pretty much sacrificing your academic gains, okay? And also gains in other areas. Like if you go to the gym, you're just not gonna get as good gains as in comparison to if you had enough sleep. And I think in general, it also reflects on your mood. I mean, you guys have probably experienced whenever you've not had sufficient sleep, you got really moody, right? And it just, the day was painful. And why would you want to do that when you can just circumvent it by sleeping? And I'm pretty sure all of us enjoy sleeping anyways. So if you aim for around 8 to 9 hours, that's really gonna put you on that journey of getting optimal sleep.
So let's talk about some good sleep habits. Generally speaking, it's a good idea to hop off devices around 30 minutes before sleeping. And the main reason for this is to get your melanin production to start up, so then you feel sleepy. Another thing that I would really recommend is read before you sleep. Reading a book, not something online, is gonna really help you get some sleep. And generally speaking, it's gonna help a lot. Now, another thing that you could do, alarms. Have an alarm. That's gonna keep you waking up at a consistent time, and that's gonna make sure you sleep consistently as well. So those sorts of things are gonna help you with your time aspect. And create a routine with that as well. So for me, it was 11 to 7. Create the routine that works for you, and you're gonna find that that really helps you throughout the year.
Yeah, and to really build upon what Anish said, I think like before you even go to bed, it's really important to have that sort of routine. So Anish already mentioned reading, which is a really good habit, which has benefits of its own, obviously, but also other sort of activities which help you settle into the night. For example, maybe brushing your teeth or washing your face. Just a couple of small activities which kind of just get you in that mood of sleeping, okay? And then that will really build that habit of falling asleep really easily. Okay?
One of the sort of final things that I wanted to add was the idea of sleep debt. Now, a lot of people think that what they can do is throughout the whole week, they can sleep very less and then sleep a lot on the weekends. Now, unfortunately, this is a bit of a myth. There's something called sleep debt, and debt is essentially sleep that you don't get, and that accumulates throughout your life. And you'll find this a lot. Like if you sleep like 6 hours for a couple of days, you might feel great because you do 2 hours of extra work. But then on the 5th day, you'll feel very groggy and just absolutely done. And that is basically the effects of sleep debt. So rather than, you know, studying 6 hours for 4 days and studying 0 hours the next day, why don't you just study 5 hours all 5 days? And you're actually gonna do more in that way. So in honesty, get the sleep, don't be in sleep debt, and you guys will be fine.
So let's relay a few more tips to you guys to help improve your sleep. One thing which we reckon is super important is actually modifying the amount of light in your room, okay? Now, I think it's fairly obvious, but light can disrupt anyone's sort of sleep, right? And for that reason, you want to take measures to ensure that you minimize how much light is entering your room. So there's different ways that you can go about trying to do this. For example, some people like to wear those sort of night fold kind of things. You can also maybe get those like light blocking curtains, just any way possible to sort of reduce your light. And as we mentioned before, also just reducing your gadget use in general, that's also kind of counts as reducing light as well as reducing the brain excitation.
Now, you also want to reduce your temperature. When you go to sleep, your body temperature decreases by around 1 to 2 degrees. If you can sort of facilitate that by reducing your room temperature, either by just not like turning on heaters, for example, or just keeping your bedroom environment relatively of like a cooler hue, then that's going to help a lot in the long term. It's going to help you fall asleep a lot quicker. And obviously if it's quieter as well, that's also going to help, because everyone wants to sleep when it's super quiet. So that's another thing that we thought would relate to you guys.
Something else, and this is actually going to go back to a video that we made very recently, is actually meditation, or really just any sort of kind of focus training or mindfulness that you can do prior to going to bed. Okay, that's going to allow you to really just focus in on your breath and on yourself, and that's going to calm you down because you're going to be less focused on the other things which are going on in your life. For example, I don't know, maybe there's a football game going on, or maybe you have some tests coming up. Okay, it gives you some time to sort of just stay away from all of those external stressors and just think about yourself and become a bit more self-aware. Okay, and that's really going to help you kind of, settle down and fall asleep. And if you want more details about that, feel free to kind of check out the video that we created on that topic.
The final thing that we want to talk about, guys, is diet. Now, obviously diet's a pretty sort of varied system. The thing that's going to be very important is before you sleep, probably don't have things like sugary drinks or anything that's going to cause like an energy spike, especially caffeine. You want to avoid caffeine. I think it's about 6 to 10 hours before you sleep, because there's still going to be caffeine in your system when you sleep, and that's going to basically cause you to not be able to fall asleep, because caffeine stops the action of melatonin, and melatonin is what's going to affect your sleep. So avoid things like caffeine, avoid sugary drinks, probably focus more on just carbs, and probably eat around 2 hours before you sleep, and that's going to help you fall asleep a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that we wanted to report to you about sleep today, guys. So if you found these tips helpful, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Also check out Sanjay Vids, because that's our guy. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Shout out to Senvidu for this video idea.
So bad. What are we doing? Who send video? We just shout out some random Sri Lankan guy. So bad. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but shout out to the guys.
Shout out to Senvidu. Shout out to Sanjay Vids. Link in the bio.
Link in the description, guys.
Subscribe to him.
Subscribe to him.
But yeah, let's talk about sleep.